It's east. So today for the Yoru guide, we're going to be on the map Ascent and covering over tips and tricks for that you can specifically incorporate in your games on Ascent and your mindset, what it should be while you're playing Ascent. Today we have our special guest Lunar helping us out. Thank you, Lunar. Appreciate it. And the first thing we're going to cover is we're going to cover defense and we're going to cover some rotate TPs. So right here, this one isn't really exact. You can literally be anywhere. You just throw it down into that corner right there. And if you have a B player playing for info, you typically have enough time to drop that. Then once you TP here, or your other TP there, maybe flash walk out, maybe not even flash walk out, and then you can kind of fight stairs and help your teammates as they're taking B side, and then when they're kind of collapsing on you and you've gotten one by now and you just don't like your position anymore, you TP back out. There's also this TP that goes to boathouse. You line up just roughly around here, aim for the center of that. It goes around the corner and then goes to boat. And same concept there. Once you're boathouse, anywhere on site really, it doesn't matter. You just throw a TP on this wall. Then again, when you feel like you're getting pushed and you don't like the site anymore, they're collapsing from both sides, you just TP out and now you're playing retake again. Now we're gonna do this. So we're just gonna go down a map like this. So I like to start mid sometimes, and you should be switching up where you play as Yoru to be unpredictable and just for you know to help your team out. Don't do the same thing every round. See how the other team is playing and adapt to that. Rounds that I know that the other team is playing mid a lot or coming tiles, I'll throw my TP up heaven. It takes 7 seconds to run from right around there to right up here where the barrier's at, and then I just come down here and I pre-aim this right here and about where they swing out. Don't pre-aim like this right on the wall. You need to give yourself time to have a reaction in order to click their head. So that's good, and then again, you can TP out. And for instance, right when I'm here, and if they're coming A, I'll just drop my TP like that. I'll drop down Gen. I'll be able to help my team fight. And then when I'm getting collapsed on or get one, again, I can TP out when we start to lose the site. And now I'm playing retake. So in general, and when I'm playing A typically, and when I'm starting actually A, if I'm lazy, I'll just throw it from here or wherever. But you can go there, 5 seconds to run to gate. And now rotate TPs are covered. We're going to cover some rat spots that you can play as Yoru since to take advantage of the TPs. So, for instance, you're playing A, since we're here, you can play in this corner. I love this angle right here. It's a great angle. You can play in any rat spot, in any of them, and then after you get one or two, you TP out and you play retake. For the same concept over on logs, you can do this, you can do this, and this is typically a one and done position on many other agents, but on Yoru specifically, you can get one and you just TP out, look down, face away to reduce the chance of you getting shot, and then you're playing retake. So take advantage of those opportunities in any rat spot you can think of on Ascent in some of the examples that I pointed out, but also just in any map in general. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is early push strategies as Yoru. So, for instance, like 4 or 5 seconds starting up here. A flash that's really popular with early aggression is up through this window. You can do that. That's solid. You can also, this is a little bit more risky, but if you have a stinger and you're like on your bonus round, and you're just trying to make something happen, you can run up and jump out like that, and that's typically a pretty good flash, and people don't expect that. It works well. In both of those, I talked about swinging out down mid. Even as Yoru especially, you can walk out if they smoke right here, and it's like a bad smoke where it's like leaking over, and it isolates a gunfight. Where you can just walk out, swing cat, and TP out after getting one. That works, but again, you swing out and then you jump back into the smoke as you TP out to help yourself not get spammed. and same concept. I mean, if it's a really bad smoke, you can, and there's cover on this side, you can just walk out. And even honestly, sometimes you can just walk out, get one, and TP out. Now going to early push strats. Oh, this is a flash TP, but I just find it kind of unnecessary. But you can still do it. You're there. You don't blind yourself like I did. It's not really a lineup. You just kind of send it. You just kind of bank that. And something that helps me not flash myself when I'm flash TPing that I should have put in the general guide that I didn't is look away. Look away from wherever your flash is hitting when it goes off and just spin around. Spin around as the flash goes off and you take the TP. So that way you're not blind. Now going on to A, there's not really too much early aggression spots that like you can coordinate with it. There's flashes you can do that are typically good. Like any of these, they're alright. That's a pretty good one, but it's just hard because they're not going to be blind if they're playing that angle on you. My favorite thing to do, honestly, is like something like this, where I jump out within my decoy. So they're shooting the decoy or they're getting hit by the flash, and I'm also creating space so I don't get spammed as I jump out and shoot them. And then I TP out or back up. So yeah. Retake TPs is the next concept we're going to cover. This is a retake TP I do actually like to take when I'm playing retake A. I'll throw my decoy out, I'll take my TP, and I'll throw my flash, and I'll TP right here. And I'm looking here, there's typically people here. It's typically decently safe because a lot of people don't really like to... Also something you can do to help you do your decoy on top of your TP is you spawn the fake out as you press the F button. And then you flash and go. That's a retake TP I like. You can also just, I mean, literally anywhere. I mean, again, just fake the TP. That works. Sometimes if I know no one's A main, I like to throw it A main and literally just, you're obviously not going to be peeking out like that, but literally just like do that real quick. And now you're back, and now you're flanking the enemies for free. That's more dangerous. That's not a consistent thing, but if you know no one's A main, that's something you can, always consider. And if you have ult, also you can run down there and just literally get a free flank off as well and isolate that fight A main, put a lot of pressure on them. Some retake TPs for B. You can throw out here, flash out that smoke, and you don't want to flash out this smoke. There's probably going to be someone playing draft, so when you throw it out, and now you're good. Now you're looking a little bit better. B main should be smoked, but if it's not, you just got to be careful about that. I don't really like to retake with a flash TP here. I typically, honestly, just, I'm walking out like that, and just clearing things, and going from there. Now, as for this, I mean, the flash TPs, if you know where someone's at, it can work. You just got to be, careful about it. And it's up to you to figure out when exactly the scenario is good based upon the information of where the enemies are playing. Now, some flank ideas. Again, as you have rotate TPs and you're starting out in one of the mains, if you don't hear noise, you can just start walking out. Just start walking out. You can go faster, slower, depending on how the other team's playing, but you being able to destroy utility on the flank and then TP back to your site applies pressure, and they don't know for sure if you're still flank or not. So as Yoru, I feel like you should definitely be flanking a fair amount, because I mean the value you get from it, and be able to just be like destroy the KJ turret and then take your TP back to A main or whatever, and then play retake. And now they're still scared about some guy being flanked, so now instead of helping site, there's one guy just staring at this. Yeah, same concept for A. If my TP runs out while I'm playing A main, I typically just send it there. And if no one's here, you can just walk up. Depending on how they're playing, you'll either walk up slow or walk up faster. It's up to your discretion based upon what you think the other team's doing. And yeah, you can just walk out. Typically, you go through mid. Be careful about this angle. Some people like to hold flank from right there, despite there being no flank util. And then the next thing is we're going to switch to attack. That's going to be the coverage of our defender half, and we're going to cover this first. So, something a lot of people don't know is when you don't have a gun equipped, and you activate your decoy, he activates and he runs with his knife out. This allows him to run faster and farther, and many people don't shoot the decoy when its knife is out because they didn't even know a decoy could have only its knife out. So now if you drop it without a gun and you have a gun, it's going to have a gun. You need a, when you send it out, not have a gun equipped. But so the line starts right there. I typically walk right here with my TP. I send out my decoy and I get right here, and this is the most classic flash TP you're gonna do. As it hits dice, you go, and as the flash bounces, you go. You kind of, that's just timing you're gonna have to learn. I guess I can analyze where exactly I decide to take it based upon what I'm throwing it now. It bounces, I go, you know, and typically people are blind. You can also angle that TP a little bit far to the right by just pushing it against the wall right here, and it should go right around there. Same flash. It's just a really good flash to get into sight. I guess I missed that. I guess you do walk up and you just throw it farther right. But yeah, it goes right there, and that's the most classic spot to flash TP. You're safe. You can also just entry like that if you think they're close. You gotta watch out for tree. People swing tree constantly. But also, I mean, with these flash TPs, as I talked about, you can literally just throw it anywhere as long as you have some sort of cover and take it. I don't really like that one. I typically only do those, but just pointing out ideas. The next thing on the list is we're going to switch over to what I do is I'm pushing cat. We're going to just go down. Typically, I'll walk up, and then someone will be holding that. It'll be smoked. And then right here, I throw my decoy, and I'm flashing there. The flash makes it seem like the decoy is flashing. It has a pretty good angle going towards sight, and it helps you clear this area, that area, and that through that. There's not really a flash TP for it that I can even consider. If you know someone's trap bottom mid, you can throw a flash TP on them. And it works, but that's just situation. I'm just pointing it out. The market flash TP you can also do if you know someone's playing market, is you aim right above the staircase. Right around here, and it'll bounce towards it. If you're worried about it not hitting, just throw it a little bit to the right of the wall, and it should hit. Now, going on to B main. The flash I like to do if they don't typically challenge B main, but you still want to make sure they're not posted up with an op or something, and you want to save the Omen flash, it typically secures it. I just, at the start of the round, I chuck a flash right here, and it's a pretty good flash. Yeah, it's a great flash. You don't have to dodge it. You just walk up and they have to dodge it. It blinds everything, clear your corners, and these are the flash TPs I typically do here. So I'll either send this one out. Wait, hold up. Send one out that goes right in front of stairs. It'll be smoked. I just feel awkward doing that. Flash out, and now you're looking around. But this is the most classic one I do. I should have done it first. Send decoy out. Send this guy out. If you know no one's playing boathouse, you can take it once it gets to boathouse. But that flash works pretty well for people playing on site. If you know someone's playing boathouse, you're just going to be a free kill though, so be careful with it. Again, flash TPs aren't, something you should consistently do. If you want a flash TP to entry here, you just do it like that. And now you're out. Okay, now you've entered onto the site. You're out. You've shut market door. You've gotten a crazy flick shot, doing whatever, and you're on site, and you're going for a YouTube clip. So, this is a TP I like to do. It catches people rotating through their spawn. And then you're far enough away where they hardly hear you, and it's a pretty good flash to catch people rotating, and they'll typically be right around this area. And honestly, a lot of people tuck in here as they're blind as shit. It's a pretty good flash, yeah, because they just don't expect getting flash TP'd in their spawn. What else throw TPs for defense are there? Oh, okay, hold up. You've entered on the site. Now what are you doing? After you entry onto site, again, like I said in the general guide, throw your TP back off site so you can play off, you can peek heaven, do whatever you want on site, but once you start getting pushed and you think you're about to die and you don't like it, you TP off and you play spam. If there happens to be someone flank, and specifically this is for A main, and you're looking, if you get a call out there's someone flank and your setup's about to fall apart for it, you can flash TP on them and it typically works pretty well. They typically get pretty blind as they do it and they walk up. Yeah, also don't be scared when you enter on the site. Pushing tree, your Yoru, you can TP back main, all that stuff. And yeah, and on B site, typically after I entry out, I'll throw a TP there. Or actually, honestly, typically what I do is I literally just, I'll either do this TP, or I'll walk out, or I'll throw that TP and just walk out like normal, and after I help take site, I can TP back to B main, I can fake the TP back to B main so they think someone's there. Any of the above are good situations. And yeah, and as for specific flashes you can do around this map, honestly, I don't really have any set flashes I really be doing besides that B main flash from the window, from that door, and on the top of this. You kind of just create them your own based upon the situation you're in. And it typically works. But yeah, that's going to be the... Alright, another thing I forgot to talk about, is if they're fighting a main, if it gets one-wayed. So typically, what you can do, you drop a decoy, send your TP, you can either throw a flashlight there, where it comes out and pops right here. That's easier to do, but this is the better flash. So again, decoy, TP. You want to bounce it off that wall and have it go forward. If they're playing right here, they don't get blind, but anywhere else, and also this is a weird spot to play. There's typically not people here. But anywhere else, it's a pretty good flash because it's going to be hitting off the wall behind them and bouncing off and going off in front of them. That's typically strong. And by that same concept, you can technically like flash TPB, but I mean it's just not necessary. It's just typically you don't need to do it. You're probably overcooking if you're trying to flash TPB, but that flash TPA does work, and I thought it should be included in this. Yeah. One thing I missed, I want to add. You can fake a lot as Yoru on this side, and you can also lurk. You can throw your TPs just to the other side. Again, just be adaptive, use your TPs, but you can lurk around and then you can TP off. If you're lurking, you're probably not making noise, but, just be careful. Typically, when I'm lurking, I go through mid or something. It's just, what you can get more free value out of and less likely to be, just being held by an op, because the op will probably start looking towards where your team's at instead of looking for a lurk. The same concepts over here. I'll just show you guys a rough, TP I throw like that. It goes up. It'll end up towards A main. But yeah, that's it. And typically works. But yeah, that's going to be the Ascent guide. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. I hope that helps. Comment if you have any questions. See ya.